Okay, the last group of carnivores we're going to deal with in this afternoon's lab is the Pinnipedia, the clade Pinnipedia. These are the marine mammals. It's a monophyletic group within the caniform carnivores. And there are three families we're going to take a look at here. The Odobenidae, the walruses. We've got parts of two walrus skulls here and a walrus tusk. Then we'll look at the Otariids, family Otariidae. These are the eared seals, the sea lions and eared seals. And lastly, we'll look at the family Phocidae, the true seals. So let's take a quick look here. The walrus is obviously very diagnostic with these modified canines. These tusks can be up to 1 meter long, and native Alaskans make scrimshaw out of them, carvings and so on, and they're still allowed to do that today, although there is strict control over who can do that, because they're allowed to hunt walruses. Although this species, it's a monotypic family, the Odobenidae. There's only one species of walrus, and this species is being severely impacted by climate change. The species is Odobenus rosmarus, and these are two different skulls here. This is a pretty weather-beaten skull. It's hard really for me to demonstrate it with you because it's so heavy and controlling the camera at the same time. But the front end of this skull has been worn away. I'll try to show it to you a bit better. This is the front end. There would be a tusk coming down here and another one on this side. And here you get an idea for how heavy this thing is. This is the rear end. This is where the atlas vertebrae would articulate with the skull, but a lot of this skull is worn and damaged, perhaps even from wave action over the years. This other skull, likewise, other walrus skull, is incomplete. But one thing about it is you can see the sockets of the two canines. This is the upper part of the skull. And here you can see these, I guess, molariform teeth here. These animals feed a lot on mollusks and things that they dig up from the sediment and the benthos at the base on the floor, the sea floor. And so they'll grind up mollusks and clams. And this is what the front of that skull looks like. So that looks more like, that should look more like a walrus snout to you here, where the tusks would come down, extend downwards. So that's the family Odobenidae, monotypic family with the single species Odobenus rosmarus, the walrus. The species and other species like the polar bears and some others that are affected by climate change. Okay, the next family we're going to take a look at here are the Otariids. It's a little trickier here with these bigger skulls. Family Otariids. And these are the eared seals and sea lions, like the California sea lion. This is the California sea lion here. We've got skulls of a male and a female. So it's Zalophus californianus. Okay. And there's pronounced sexual dimorphism in sea lions. Males are much larger than females. And here you'll see this. This is a male skull. Now, I don't want you to confuse these with the bear skulls we saw earlier. Look at the big sagittal crest here. crests along the back of the skull as well. The sea lions are fish eaters, prodigious fish eaters, and you'll see that in the shape of the teeth too. The teeth are fairly homodont, they're very similar to each other. They're kind of like what you see in toothed whales, like porpoises and so on. Also, one way to tell these sea lions from the true seal skull, I'll show you in a moment, is the presence of this supraorbital process. It is one here and one on this side. I'll turn it so you can see those supraorbital processes. So the otariids have those. Now take a look at the teeth underneath, okay? This is a real skull. This is a male sea lion, Xylophus californius. And you can see here are the canines, regular canines, incisors with caniniform incisors here. Remember, this thing is going to be trying to catch slippery fish, so needs all the grasping power it can get. That's why it has these pointy peg-like teeth here. They're fairly homodont, I mean they're all the same, but they're not like molars, or they're not like carnassials, although they are truly premolars and molars here. Again, you'll see the palate here extends beyond the rear of the tooth row as well. So this is a male, big male California sea lion. That's the back of the skull, big sagittal crest. This is the lower jaw of the same skull, really heavy lower jaw, again with lots of teeth here for grasping onto slippery prey. Now let's look at the female. By comparison, side by side, this is the female, much smaller, much don't have the development of the huge sagittal crest. See the supraorbital processes here. You'll see how that's different from the harbor seal, which I'll show you in a moment. But again, same type of teeth, pig-like teeth as in the male. This individual was shot and survived it. That's a bullet wound that went across the top of the head and across the cranium, did damage here. But this animal at least survived it. But can you imagine the horrendous headache that this poor animal had after it was shot? It's illegal to shoot these animals. Let me see when this was shot. How old is this? It doesn't say on the tag. But it has been illegal to shoot these for a long, long time. But periodically there's a lot of controversy with fishermen, with depredations of sea lions on, say, salmon stocks. By the way, notice how well the teeth are glued together here. These are the upper and lower teeth of this female sea lion. That's a pretty formidable row of teeth for catching herring or salmon or whatever the type of fish. You'll see these in big well, not schools, but packs accompanying humpback whales as they feed in Monterey Bay. It's something I highly recommend that you do. Ordinarily, that would be a field trip that we would take as part of this course, but unfortunately we're not able to do it this semester because of COVID. So, and the last family we're going to take a look at now is bears some similarity to the otariids, and these are the Phocidae, family Phocidae, and these are the true seals. And if you look in your textbook, you'll see that they come in a whole variety of shapes and sizes. In the lab manual, I forgot to mention how many species there are of each. There's only one species of walrus, like I mentioned, but of the otariids, there are about 15 species in 7 genera. And the phocids, The phocids vary considerably in size. The true seals, these are also called earless seals, and they vary from smaller seals like the ringed seal or the harbor seal up to the elephant seals, which have incredibly pronounced sexual dimorphism. And there are about 18 species of true seals in 13 genera worldwide. So let's take a quick look here at Fossa vitellina, the harbor seal. These are the animals that you'll see around San Francisco Bay. You'll see them over by Monterey and so on. We don't have a real skull, unfortunately. We have a bone model here, but it's a good representation. Actually, we do have part of a true seal skull, but it's only a small part. Actually, maybe I'll go get it. But here you can see the teeth are somewhat similar to what you saw in the sea lion. Again, they have a similar purpose for grasping slippery prey, and but notice that they don't have the supraorbital process that you saw in the sea lions. And this is the lower jaw as well. Okay, that brings to an end the display of specimens that I have for the order Carnivora. But as you can see, there's quite a lot of variability across the feliform and the caniform carnivores. Lots of stuff for you to study in relation to this lab. So I'll call it a halt here.